Are you ready to start decking those halls for Christmas? Well, hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer, and I love sharing easy DIYs and budget decor. And today I have 25 Dollar Tree DIYs and ideas to share with you, and I cannot wait. I would like to take a moment and thank SureBonder for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get straight to it.
We're going to start off by talking about some really easy decor ideas. For the first one, you want to grab some of Dollar Tree's smaller foam balls. Then you want to pick up some fabric. I really like to use the striped red and white fabric because here we are creating some faux candy, and you see where we're going with this. We are definitely making some peppermints. You want to cut it to be about 5 by 6. After you have your squares all cut out, then you can start covering up your foam balls. Now you can just have the foam balls all covered up and then have these laying out on a tray or something, or you can do the next step like I am, where I am taking a large needle, which Dollar Tree does carry, and you will have just a simple and easy garland. Now I did have it suggested to me that you might want to put it through the balls first and then add the fabric, which I think also would be a great idea. I'd love to know, which way would you do it? Would you add the fabric first, or would you thread it through the balls and then add the fabric? And as you can tell, I also went ahead and added some solid color red ones in the mix. You could do solid white. You could have so much fun with this. I think it just makes absolutely beautiful decor, whether you're going to put this in a tree. It also would look absolutely beautiful along the mantle. If you go for anything red and white, candy cane, or gingerbread, this is such a great piece to go along with it. While we're on the subject of peppermints, go ahead and grab 2 of these discs from Dollar Tree as well and give them a good coat or good base coat of white paint. And then you can go in and do kind of like a little pinwheel with some red, and you got yourself some really easy peppermints. Now, by adding a dowel in, you make them into little peppermint suckers. So I went ahead and grabbed a container from Dollar Tree as well, and then using just some foam and some tissue paper, I went ahead and stuck them straight into that. But honestly, what I think would be super cute is if you went ahead and you took them and you wrapped them either in cellophane or in some plastic wrap, added a bow. How darling would these look? It would give them that glossy, glassy look that suckers really have. Absolutely precious. And for only a couple of dollars, you have yourself a show-stopping peppermint piece of decor. For this next project, you're going to need either some Christmas raffia, or you can always use like a Hawaiian skirt left over from summer. If you do the Hawaiian skirt, you can go with a natural color, or you can do what I did, which is to tie-dye it. I simply got it wet first just so it could absorb the tie-dye, and then I just followed the directions that come with the tie-dye. Mix the powder and the water together, made sure it was well saturated, let it sit in the bowl for a little bit, and then I just laid it out in the sun and let it dry. It dried super fast. No matter which one you're choosing to use, you are going to be covering up a wired wreath form. Now I'm using a 14-inch one, and I'm weaving it through. Every time you finish one strand, you're going to use some hot glue to secure it down and begin another. Keep the weave fairly tight to cover up all the wires, and just make sure that you get it completely covered. Now, if you are not new, then it is no surprise to you that I am using my SureBonder cordless detail tip because that is my absolute favorite hot glue gun. I get asked about it almost every single week, and definitely at least once every time you see a video, because I use it every single time. The reason why I love it, actually there's more than one, but one of them is because it's cordless, and the other is because I have so much control over the amount of glue that I let out. Now, they don't brag about the fact that it doesn't drip, but I do find that I don't get drippage like I have with glue guns in the past. It is just, chef's kiss. You are going to want to go ahead and grab 24 clothespins. Now, it's your choice if you want to paint them or not. I did paint mine. I painted 12 of them white, and the other half I started off painting them green, but you'll notice later I do change that to red. And then you're going to place them around your reform, 12 on the inside and 12 on the outside, and secure those down with some hot glue. The last thing you need to do is grab any one of Dollar Tree's bows. They have a ton to choose from. I happen to want a white one, so I grabbed one that I had that was just from fall. I painted it white and then hot glued that straight onto my wreath. And if you couldn't tell what we were making, it is a card holder. And I absolutely love that you can now hold 24 of your favorite Christmas cards. I think this is so fun and a great way to display those beautiful cards. For this next project, you're going to want to grab one of Dollar Tree styrofoam cones as well as one of these green styrofoam pieces. I always forget what they're called, so if you want to remind me in the comments, I would appreciate it. Hot glue those two together and then grab one of Dollar Tree's mop heads and cut those strands straight off. From there, you're going to go ahead and just attach all your strands around. It does mean that you need to go in with 2 layers so you can have a nice thick beard. If you can't tell, we're making a gnome here, and we don't want that gnome to have a thin beard. What else is going to help that beard get thicker is you're going to take those strands and you are going to comb them out and separate the individual strands within each strand, and that is going to really help that beard look so much better. The next thing you want to do is to hide that green styrofoam because it doesn't look good. Let's just face it. So if you want to paint it white, cover it with white fabric like I did or white felt, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, just cover up that green one way or another. So here's when the fun really begins. You get to pick out what color you want your gnome to be. I am using a red dish towel from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree carries other colors of dish towels. They also carry fabric, so you can just have whatever fun color you want. You do want to make sure that you trim this down. This is going to be his hat, and you're just going to attach that around first his head. Now, before you get too carried away, you do want to go ahead and apply his nose. So Dollar Tree carries some beads, and the largest bead would look great here, but I do have some half beads, so that is what I'm going in with instead. Now you just need to finish off his hat, and you can do this a couple of different ways. If you want to do it like I just did a quick little tie around the top of his head and then at the top of the fabric. Made sure that was nice and flat before I hot glued a large pom-pom on. But you could also go in with a really large jingle bell instead if you want to. I just think he is adorable. I am one of those people that feels like gnomes are a little bit overdone right now because we see them for all of the holidays, but I still cannot resist a little Santa gnome. I just can't help it. I think they're kind of cute. If you like to set out milk and cookies for Santa, grab one of these vases because these next two DIYs are a must. Here I am using a decal that I created with my Cricut, but you do not have to do that. If you have any artistic ability, which I don't, that is why I do use my Cricut as often as I do. This simply just says milk for Santa. You can go in with glass markers. You can even use some ARTEZA outdoor paint. It doesn't matter. It's just a simple, easy idea. Now, for the cookies, you're going to grab one of these trays from Dollar Tree. You can leave it its natural neutral brown, or you can paint it white like I have. And again, this is just going to be cookies for Santa. Again, using a decal. You can paint it and then cover it with some Mod Podge, or you can even print something off and Mod Podge it down. You can absolutely do so many different options than just using a decal for this. This is just to give you a little spark so that you can be creative as you want. I just think these are darling and a must for anyone that loves to put out milk and cookies. For this next project, you're going to want to grab 3 of these foam cones from Dollar Tree. Now, to make that first cone a little bit bigger, you're going to take one of these green ones like we did earlier, and you are going to hot glue the two together. Now here I have some yarn. It's already kind of pre-braided, but you could always braid your own yarn. This is just going to save me a lot of time, and you're simply going to wrap it all the way around the cone and cover it up. You are going to do that to 3 different cones of 3 different sizes. Just the cone by itself for the medium size. The small one, you can use a pack like this or cut a cone if you want to. Of course, you could always leave these a solid color, which I do think looks beautiful, or add another color just to give it a little pop. And after that, you have 3 gorgeous trees that take you no time at all, but look absolutely stunning. Now we're going to get into one of my absolute favorite things, and that is ornaments. And we're starting with one of my favorite ones. You're going to need to grab just a couple of different paint colors, whatever you want. I went in with some white and red, and Dollar Tree carries different shapes and sizes of these clear ornaments, so just grab your favorite. You're going to simply start off by pouring the lighter color into the ornament first. Go ahead and pour it in and then kind of just tap it and shake it around and get it where you want it. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is definitely not precise. There is no way to determine the exact outcome. So if you are somebody that has to have this precise, this is not for you. After you have your lighter color, then you can go in with your dark color, do the same thing, place it where you want it, tap it around, make sure you left some open areas from that lighter color so that red color can come through. And then there's definitely some areas where the two will blend. Once you've covered all the clear areas, then you need to take the opening and try to dump out as much of the paint as you can, because you definitely don't want it to puddle up on the bottom. I personally leave it upside down while it dries so any extra paint can come out. After that, pop that top on. You can write a name on it, a year on it, but you have yourself an absolute beautiful ornament. If you're new here, I just wanted to say hello and welcome. I'm so glad you are here. I hope you will introduce yourself in the comments and hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying what you see. Dollar Tree carries these little 3D wood kits. Grab a couple of them. Make sure you get the one that has like the little house in it, and you are going to make yourself the cutest ornaments. You're also going to need a couple of round ornaments, whether it's the metal ones or the wood ones. It really doesn't matter. Either one will work for this. For these wood ones, I have created some ornaments in the past that I absolutely love. I'll make sure to link that video for you to check out. As long as you have the base, you're good. You won't need anything other than the trees and the little house for this project. Save those other things for some future projects. You're going to paint these pretty traditionally, whatever colors you want to paint them, whatever works with your decor, it doesn't matter. The real magic happens when you pull out your white puffy paint. The white puffy paint is what gives it that depth and texture. Now, I just picked this up at Walmart. They're super easy to find in their craft section, and I applied it onto the snow or to create the snow onto the trees. Now for the little gingerbread house, I also had a red puffy paint and just created little dots all the way around it, alternating between the white and red to really give that its fun and unique look, to make it look like candy going around the house. I just think it was the star of this entire show. Now, I did go ahead and spray paint the metal signs. I went with a traditional red and white. I love Rust-Oleum's Cherry Red, and this is just their matte white. Rust-Oleum is my favorite brand of spray paint, and I felt like this really popped by using the red and white. To secure it down, just grab some of the gel super glue from Dollar Tree to secure them onto their ornaments. Now, for the little house, though, I did go in with these beads that you can get from Dollar Tree just to make it pop up a little bit. And that definitely gave it a little more dimension. And I think that was the perfect added little touch that it needed. Add some ribbon and wham bam, these things are done. I absolutely love them, and I think they make such a great statement. Another really great idea is to grab one of these 3D sets, paint it up however you want to, piece it together like it's supposed to be, then just grab a piece of ribbon, twine, whatever you want to, and you have yourself a really easy and cute ornament just like that. For this next ornament, you're going to want to grab one of these smaller wood pieces from Dollar Tree. These white right here, they come in different shapes. I personally love the round one. It's my favorite one to use. You're going to do that and then grab a favorite photo. Here I have one of my kids. All you're going to do is trace out the shape, cut it out, and then you're going to apply some Mod Podge straight to the shape, put your photo on top, and then seal that photo with some Mod Podge. And then the finishing touch is to take some ribbon around the outside of your shape and then do a little bow right on top. Now, I personally did not want to have anything poking through my photo, so to hang this up, I just used a little hot glue into the hole to put that twine in so that it would hang on the tree. If you are a sentimental sap like I am, then this would be one of your favorite ornaments, because this is just a little time capsule and it makes such a great gift for grandparents as well. For this next ornament, you want to grab one of Dollar Tree's little craft bottles, and you're simply going to take the lid, use a screwdriver, and pop a hole right into the top. Simply going to take one of your favorite ribbons and you're going to poke it through that hole, tie a knot on the bottom, so that we now have a little hanger for your craft bottle. Now it's time to fill up your bottle. And one of my favorite ways is to take a bottle brush tree. Dollar Tree has several different options for you to choose from. You're going to use a little hot glue so it stays in place. And then you're going to cover it with some little faux snow. Now, I'm a sucker for a bow, so I can't help myself. I always like to add a bow to everything. So, of course, I had to go ahead and make a little quick bow and put that on the top before I hung this on my tree. But just like that, this is all done. Now, if you don't want to use a craft bottle, Dollar Tree also carries the little ornaments where it looks like a bottle upside down. Either one of those would work and you would have a very similar effect, which is to give yourself a beautiful ornament to hang on your tree. Now, I love these because they are clear, and that means the light can reflect or bounce through them and really just gives a beautiful glow as it does so. Clear ornaments are some of my favorite ornaments that you can put in the tree, and Dollar Tree has several shapes and sizes. So here you can see that they have both a 4-inch and a 5-inch. They also carry smaller ones, and you can fill them with so many different things. You can take some pom-poms and fill them completely up, but that does keep some of that light from bouncing off. Here I simply filled them up with some red pom-poms and added some green ribbon. This is one way, but honestly, my favorite is to don't fill them up all of the way. Just allow a little breathing room for that light to come through, like I did here with the white pom-poms. Now, one of my favorites is when I took these little berries, I cut those stems off, put those in. I think this looks gorgeous. And if you're into like more traditional looking Christmas trees, this would look so good. For these next ornaments, you want to grab a couple different sizes of the round foam balls that you can get from Dollar Tree. I got the medium and the large. They come in 3 and then the 2 packs. And then just glue the 2 different sizes together. Can't figure it out? We are making some snowmen. For the nose of the snowman, we're just taking a clothespin. You do want to just split it apart, and it's still a little too long. So to cut it down, I use my miter shears. And then, of course, the snowman's nose needs to be orange. So just a quick little paint job, and wham bam, that is done. Alrighty, so every snowman needs a scarf, and we don't want the snowman to just have a basic scarf. So I had to take some yarn and I decided to braid it. But of course, you could go in with some fabric if you wanted to instead. But if you want to braid it like I am, you're just going to take a couple of pieces of yarn. I went in with 9 pieces, split it into 3 in each section, and then just did a traditional braid. I made it extra long because I used part of the braided yarn to go around as a scarf. And the rest of it I saved for his little cap. I'll show you that in just a second. But of course, we got to finish off this snowman. So we had to pop his nose right in the center of his face. And then I used buttons for his eyes and then down his belly. Now for the cap, I simply just added a little hot glue right there in the center and then just swirled that braided yarn all around his head to create that cutest little winter cap. I think he is so adorable, and I'm sure you see his little buddy sitting next to him. All I did for him was use one of these little scarves to create his scarf and his hat. And let me tell you, I think the duo is just too cute. For this next ornament DIY, grab any one of these wooden ornaments that Dollar Tree carries. I personally like the basic of this tree. Grab some tissue paper, trim that tissue paper down just so it's a little bit larger than your ornament. And then you can go in with some just basic glue stick, whatever glue stick you have on hand. I'm using Elmer's. And then you are going to burn the edges. So grab your lighter. Be careful. Do not burn yourself because, you know, it's paper, it lights. You might want to hold it with tongs instead of your fingers if you're not trusting yourself. I also like to do this over a sink. It might be a little bit safer that way, you know, but it does create a very beautiful ornament, and it's a little bit deeper and darker on the outsides because of that burning effect. Also, it's pretty fun to watch. Now, I do think that Mod Podge would hold better than the glue, but you want to be careful if you use Mod Podge because the tissue paper is so thin. So it's a give and take. The only thing left to do is to poke a hole, add a string, twine, whatever, and you are ready to hang this on your Christmas tree. It would also make a really cute tag to put on a gift. I absolutely love this technique. I mean, I love this technique, so much fun. I didn't stop with just this ornament. I kept creating other ornaments. Not only do you get to use tissue paper, you can also do this with napkins if you want to. Anything that's thin works really well. And again, make sure you're doing it over something that's nice and safe. It does create a little bit of mess, but you end up with just the most beautiful ornaments. Regardless if you like your traditional trays, a 2-tier tray or a 3-tier tray, I have some great DIY ideas for you. Again, go ahead and grab one of these wooden ornaments. It doesn't matter which one, just your favorite shape. Paint it whatever color you want. Then you're going to grab some wooden beads from Dollar Tree, some twine, pop some beads on it. Again, make it as long as you want, tie a knot, and you have yourself a great little piece to set on a tray. While we're here, check out this little sleigh. This is just an ornament from Dollar Tree. That is another tip. Take an ornament, cut the ribbon off, and you have yourself just a tiny little piece of decor that is perfect to put on a tray. Check out these booties. Aren't they the cutest thing? And they would be so cute on a tiered tray. For this next tray idea, you want to grab some styrofoam balls as well as a little tin. Now, I decided to go ahead and spray paint my tin red. You can do whatever color makes your heart happy. Now, to start off with, you might want to use some tissue paper on the bottom of your tin, depending on what size it is. Then you can start filling it up with your styrofoam balls. If you are overflowing and don't want those balls to fall out, you can use some hot glue to help secure them down. See where we're going here? We now have a tin full of snowballs. Grab a Dollar Tree tag, use a little chalk marker, write snowballs, 5 cents, or it's inflation. Maybe they cost $1. Whatever makes, again, your heart happy. Clip that on with a little clothespin, and you have a super cute little snowball of tin to put on a tray. It also would look really cute in a tree like I have done here, and considering I have a snowman tree, you can guess where I plan on using mine. For this next DIY, you're going to want to use one of Dollar Tree's little chalkboards, but they look a little cheap to me, so if you want to make them look a little high end, you want to paint it. I'm just using Waverly's chalk paint in ink. It's just their black, but any black paint honestly will do. If you have a chalk paint, even better. Now, I am simply using a decal that I created with my Cricut, but like I mentioned earlier, if you have artistic ability, unlike me, you can simply paint something on, use some paint markers, use regular paint, use a Sharpie. You can do whatever you want. You do not have to use a decal, but I absolutely think this is cute. I went with a gingerbread. You could use a snowman. You could use a Christmas tree, anything you wanted. All it does is say, blank, only days until Christmas. Who doesn't love a good Christmas countdown? For this DIY, you're going to want to grab one of Dollar Tree's little metal houses, take it off of its stand, and then you absolutely need to get Rust-Oleum's Warm Caramel because it makes the most beautiful gingerbread color. Now, I created a really easy decal using my Cricut, but puffy paint will look so good on this. You absolutely do not have to have a Cricut, and isn't this just adorable? For this next project, grab a jar, doesn't matter what season. This is the one that I have. Just work with what you got. Make sure that you sand it nice and smooth, and then you are going to paint it. Paint it whatever color you want. I went in with a beautiful red. This is from Waverly. I just happen to really like it and think it is a great color for Christmas. Take some twine around the top a few times. You can tie it off into a knot, and then you can pick any one of Dollar Tree stickers. I happen to have some of these tags from Walmart. I think they are adorable, and I'm into red and white an awful lot if you cannot tell. So I just went with one of these. I just hot glued it right on, and this is done. It was so quick and easy, but it is perfect to put on a tray. Now this next DIY is so easy. You just need to grab a mug. Any color will do. Just pick the one that you like the most. You're simply going to be making some faux hot chocolate. So you just need to stuff that mug and top it with a foam ball. And you're going to need a straw because everybody likes to drink their hot chocolate with a straw. So use some of Dollar Tree's caulking to create that faux whipped cream. And you're just going to take it around that styrofoam ball. Now, don't worry about it being too pretty. It doesn't really matter because you can go in with a silicone spatula and just kind of swirl it around and it will give you just the perfect whipped texture that you want your hot chocolate to have. This tube confetti makes the perfect sprinkles. I chose to go in with red. You do want to put it down before that caulking dries. So go ahead and apply it. And then again, use that spatula to help kind of press it in so it will stick. And then you have just the cutest little faux hot chocolate. This would look so cute on a tray. It makes really cute kitchen decor as well. And that leads me to our next section. Now let's move to the kitchen for some really cute Christmas ideas, starting first with this really large candy jar. Now this is plastic, and if you can't find this large one, you can get this glass one, which honestly is one of my favorite ones. And you can even find these really little plastic ones as well. You have lots of options to do some fun ideas. If you're using them for food, you want to make sure that if you're going to spray paint them like I am, you want to tape off the inside because you don't want any of that paint getting on any food. And then you are free to spray paint that outside. I'm using Rust-Oleum in white, and I spray painted both the base and the lid as well. After that, I just peeled that tape right off. Now I went ahead and painted the little knob on the lid black, and I popped on a little half bead that I hot glued straight to the top. I'm going in and using a decal that I created with my Cricut because my handwriting is just as bad as my artistic ability. But if you have a membership to Design Space, I'm linking everything in the description box for you. I put cookies in this one. I would love to know, what would you put in one of these jars? I think candy would be another great option. For this next project, you're going to want to grab one of the chalkboards with the little stand. I love these because they can stand up on their own. I created a decal that just says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." Again, if you want to use a paint marker, a Sharpie, a chalkboard marker, whatever you want, you can too. But I do get asked all the time which Cricut I use. I do have the Explore 3. It is my favorite machine to choose from. When I do get asked, that is always the one I recommend. But I think this is absolutely adorable. Again, you do not have to have a cutting machine to do this, but it definitely does look super cute in a kitchen. If you love easy and affordable Christmas DIYs, I have an entire playlist and I have so many more videos coming your way, so make sure you stick around. For this next project, you want to pick up a couple of mugs in festive colors, and then I sound like a broken record. I'm using a couple of vinyl decals that I created with my Cricut. And this time I think you actually do need to use vinyl because that is going to give you the best success. I went with peppermint and cocoa. I absolutely love these. You can use these. They don't have to be just for decor, but if you do, make sure you hand wash them and don't put them in the dishwasher. You didn't think I would not put in a towel, did you? Of course I am, because Dollar Tree carries flour sack towels. So does Walmart, and here's the difference. The ones from Dollar Tree are a little bit thinner, but they are bigger, and the ones from Walmart are thicker. So I actually am going to go with the Walmart one because I actually use my towels and they're more absorbent. But if you're just going to use it for decor sake, either one will do. If you haven't figured it out, I really do love gingerbread men, and I hope you do too. Now, this time I am using an iron-on vinyl and layering on parts to create an old snap with a little gingerbread. Now, if you don't have a cutting machine, you could do a really basic gingerbread man, or even like a snowman or a Christmas tree, and hand trace and cut it out on some iron-on vinyl and create something very similar. So don't, again, feel like you have to have a cutting machine to get something like this. This is just for inspiration, and I hope you love this as much as I do because I think he is absolutely adorable. Now let's talk about a few of those finishing touches that we all love to have when it comes to Christmas. Dollar Tree does carry some really pretty fabric when it comes to Christmas time, so grab whichever fabric you want. You will need to go in and trim your edges to make sure all your edges are nice and straight. You will need a total of 2 pieces of fabric, and I decided to toss in a ribbon as well. Now, I am not going to be sewing, but if you want to sew, you 100% can. I'm actually going to go in with a glue gun. Again, I'm going to be using a detailed glue gun this time, but I'm not using my cordless. I'm actually going to be using the corded one. They have a corded and a cordless. This time I'm actually going to be using the fabric glue. And now if you're wondering if you can wash with the fabric glue, you 100% can. Now you don't want to throw it in the dryer, but you can wash it. You want to make sure that you attach the ribbon about ½ inch from the top, and you're also going to make sure that you apply a second piece about ½ inch from the bottom. Now you just need to make sure that the two right sides or the two tops of the fabrics are facing each other, and you're just going to go around with your glue about ½ inch from the edge all the way around 3 of the sides, leaving the bottom open. Once that glue sets, you can go ahead and turn those right sides out and then stuff it with some polyfill. I get mine on Amazon, but you can use an old pillow too. And then turn the bottom ends under and then go in with some hot glue to seal that off, close it off, and your pillow is finished off, and it's absolutely cute, and it is the perfect finishing touch. One of the best buys at Dollar Tree are their gift bags, but you can use them for more than just your gifts. Take a couple of your favorites, trim them down depending on what size of gift bag you get. So here I have a couple of 11 by 14 frames, but I got 8 by 10 photo mats from Dollar Tree, and I'm just trimming them down to fit within those photo mats. Once you have them trimmed down, just plop them back into your frame. I always like to put the glass behind, and now you have yourself a beautiful photo to display on your wall or wherever you want. I've also done this with some smaller ones before. Just a really simple, easy, and affordable way to decorate for Christmas. For this next project, you're going to want to grab some of Dollar Tree's poster stickers and one of their mats. Now, the idea here is to cover up any part of this mat that you do not want covered up with spray paint. So starting with the poster stickers, you're going to spell out whatever Christmas phrase you want. So I have it saying, we're like really into Christmas, but there are so many different Christmas phrases you can go with. Once I have that down, then I'm going to use some painter's tape. It's like my best friend when it comes to doing these mats. Place it wherever you need to. Now you can go in with some spray paint. I'm using the same red that I have used in this entire video. It is Cherry Red by Rust-Oleum. To add a second color, you want to do the same thing. Again, you just want to cover up whatever you don't want spray painted. So I'm covering up my center because I want to keep that nice and red, and I'm just using some contact paper at first to cover it up, and then I can use some painter's tape to hold it down. Go in with some painter's tape in the other areas. I wanted to go in with some stripes to finish this off, and then I'm also using the painter's tape to help me space out my stripes so that they are even all the way down. This time I'm using Rust-Oleum's Ultra Matte in white. Once it completely dries, then I like to go in with a Sharpie and really crisp up those black lines. I've actually been using this exact same mat for 3 years. I don't seal it. It lasts beautifully. Absolutely love doing this technique. Now for this project, you want to grab any one of Dollar Tree's larger wooden signs. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going with the moose here. And then just grab your favorite Christmas colored t-shirt. Now place either a cardboard inside or a garbage sack inside in between. You'll see why in just a second. You might even want to put a bag underneath it, and for the holes where he had the string from hanging, cover that up with some tape. You do not want to have those poking through. So here I have some regular bleach. I put it in a bottle. This is not your splash-free bleach, just regular bleach. And you're going to take it around and you're going to spray. Now, you do want to make sure that it is straight up and down so that none of that bleach gets under and bleeds through your sign. So make sure that you're not holding it at an angle. Now, this bottle does have 2 different sprayers. It did come from Dollar Tree. So this is like the soft spraying that it's doing right now, but I do like to switch it up and add the hard one once I'm done, because you get some bigger splashes, and I just think it's fun to have the combination of the two. After you spray it and it's sat here for about 3 minutes, take that mousse off. You can flip the shirt over and spray the back. After a total of about 12 to 15 minutes, once the bleach has lightened everything, then go in with this hydrogen peroxide. I also put this in a bottle, but it's just regular hydrogen peroxide. Spray that all over. This is neutralizing the bleach. Once I've done that, I just use my hose in my backyard because I don't want to bring that bleach through my house. And so I want to rinse it out as best as I can. Then I just throw it in the washing machine, the dryer, and it is good to go. So fun to do, and you can get some really inexpensive, fun, and festive shirts. My 10-year-old son absolutely loves this, but I'm not gonna lie, I really like it too, and I would 100% wear this. I think it would look so cute with a little pair of jeans and a sweater. Yeah, I kind of need one. Now, when giving a present, you definitely need a little tag. So grab some of these chalkboard tags from Dollar Tree, use a chalk marker, write the person's name on it, and then grab some of these stickers from Dollar Tree and use that for a little embellishment. Not only do these make great little gift tags, but the person can also use them as an ornament. Now for these, I just flipped them over and painted them white on the back side, and you can use a Sharpie or even vinyl if you want to. Now, also with these stickers, you can just take a little wooden bead, hot glue that onto the back to give you a little grip, then dip them into some paint, not too much or it gets globby, and you have yourself a little stamp, and you can stamp onto some fabric or whatever you want. Here I have a canvas bag. I stamped all over it, and I gave myself a cute little bag to use for a gift bag. Such a fun and easy idea.
Wasn't that so much fun? If you want some more ideas for how to wrap your gifts, check out this video. For more DIYs, check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!